usually is a very aggressive hero player in the first place, right?
Yes, that's what we got to know Jome for in the first few games where he was playing. He just really made sure that he would play aggressively in the lane. So let's see how Super Yoshi will also support him in making sure that he gets the clear advantage, because at the end of the day, I feel like they have less to worry about when it comes to their XP lane matchup up until the moment we reach the team fights. But for laning, we have to watch out for FlapTZ too. This is for the glue, I mean, because it is just capable of really dishing out that damage, not until you get your level 4 as the Phobius.
That's right. So something to maybe watch out for is that top side later on, but that's going to be very, very later on. Right now, we are going to look at the mid. Loading up into the Land of Dawn here for game number 1. Does feel like everything is just business here. Kyle TC, though, very good pathing straight into the Leafo Wanderer.
Okay.
Andorio going to be catching up close as well. Wants to get some of these hits in.
Okay, Andorio, good use of the Queller, as well as forcing out the Flicker onto Feud. Now, what I like about Omega's lineup again, they're using a proven concept of the Badang and the Vexana. We see it a lot, especially when it comes to comeback games. If Super Yoshi and Ukir manages to control the center of the map once again and initiate huge amounts of crowd control and burst, Omega can actually prevent the snowball of Super Marco and KalTZ.
Yep. And one thing to note from the emblems too that was showed earlier was that Jome decided to pick up the pull yourself together. But wait, hold on.
Here comes the electrifying beats. KalTZ, one more hit. There's the dash, but the first blood drawn from KalTZ.
All right, very unfortunate. That was the jungler of Smart Omega immediately taken out. So the way they're supposed to ensure a lot more space for their lineup to farm will be slightly compromised given that kill. And going back to the idea though, a lot of responsibility will fall into the hands of Jome with the pull yourself together, hopefully, so he has a lot more sprints to rely on later on.
Look at that, they're getting started up already. Flicker committed.
Oh, plus the split, but still manages to get Andorio. KalTZ with electrifying beats, not going to dive deeper anymore, but FlapTZ will disengage. Meanwhile, they're going for the Cebuano. Lewis with the Infernal Pursuit, one more hit onto Few, but a beautiful stun! And the El Capitan manages to stay alive.
My goodness.
Still no trade for Omega.
That could have been super bad. I don't know if you guys know this, but KalTZ missed on the electrifying beats. He tried to jump, but he hit the wall.
Yeah.
So he was electrocuting the rocks.
Yeah, the rock.
The rocks.
The most electrifying man
I'm
is the rock.
surprised they didn't get punished for that. What happened?
I mean, if you were to also look at how FlapTZ just decided to put himself up front against the members of Smart Omega, he need not spend so much time with the split to gain the stacks and to be able to latch onto a member from Smart Omega. That caused them to really move away from the team fights that were happening, leaving Luis all alone against the members of Team Falcons, in which he nearly took out Few, but
nearly.
Few.
Keyword.
Yeah, that was the keyword. Nearly, because there was so much support for Few, and he was even able to take the kill against Luis in that sequence.
Which is again very surprising because they didn't really have skills. They missed out. They whiffed on their skills already. So, man, oh man, what a start here for Falcons and Omega. Basically on survival mode.
Yeah, not to mention, Few didn't even use his flicker during that time.
Oh, that's a good observation. Yeah, he didn't even flicker.
Yeah, because he had no flicker because it was forced out by Andorio early on.
Yep. And now Super Marco is also able to freely rotate out of his lane. They will be able to start doing the double lanes for Super Marco. Super Yoshi though.
Okay, commits a fist crack once again, and this time they will take down the captain. Few will fall down.
I like that these skills don't even hit, but they're getting kills.
But this for sure will hit as Ogun commits the AOG plus the Revitalize. No follow-up coming in from the rest of the Green of Falcons. But still, that was still an attempt from Team Falcons.
Yeah.
Another one.
KalTZ will be caught here.
Okay, caught up by 4, but with the dashes, manages to escape as FlapTZ is there as well. Lewis just working on Flap with Infernal Pursuit.
All right. Few earlier wasn't able to use his flicker do. He decided to go for the mana regen boot, so the passive, the fortitude from the tough boots won't be available for him just in case he gets pitted in those kinds of scenarios, though he still fortunately has the flicker available for him for this upcoming turtle, so they could potentially head into this with a little more confidence, especially alongside Flap TZ.
Okay, they're already engaging! Super Yoshi connects the combo. Manages to get Ogwin, but look at Kyle TZ answers back with a clapback on the Super Yoshi. Lewis might fall down in the hands of Marco, or Flap TZ manages to escape one more hit. But now Jome is in the picture, zones out the Green Falcons, and that's a TKO for Omega.
We're seeing the big difference here of having a Phoveus very early on.
Yep.
Really does, really, it blows up the big team fight, right? To the teammate, to the team who loves the chaos.
Yeah, this
which
is
is
the
Omega in this scenario.
That's the difference. Now that Luis has finally had his hands on perfect timing for the Infernal Pursuits. And alongside that is Omega being very proactive. This feels like a very different smart Omega from the past few weeks, wherein they just decide to keep on engaging in the fights. Oh, they dodged the AOG from Ogwin.
Oh.
And, okay.
Nice catch, nice catch. They're going to be able to push back Omega, but only for the meantime.
Yeah.
They're still rotating around that bottom side of the map, and I feel like they can still go anytime here.
Yeah. At least they were able to save the turret. That's literally one more hit, and Super Marco has to give it away this time. So Jome definitely won the laning stage.
Yeah, and I mean, look at that. His sprint's about to go up once again after just using it earlier in the previous fight, and Fuse so far has been having quite a hard time in finding the right positions to use the real-world manipulation. A huge factor would be Super Yoshi, constantly on the lookout for him, alongside Luis, who just makes sure that he finds himself in the middle of everyone, since he somehow is able to sustain them now that he's already picked up the Radiant Armor and the Tough Boots. Also, with that single Dreadnought Armor, that will mean a lot, since majority of the early game damage of Team Falcons as of this moment is coming from their magic damage.
Oh, despite losing a tower for Super Marco, he's still leading the gold in terms against Jome. Already has a Hunter Strike and Sky Piercer compared to Jome with only Hasclaws.
Oh, that's true. Keeping it alive. I mean, the laning phase essentially went how we kind of pictured it, especially for Jome, right? Obviously, the Airfell's going to have some pretty good advantages, especially if Omega is winning a lot of the team fights. But despite all of that, they're actually quite even in gold.
Yeah, Super Marco still hasn't died yet in this matchup and already has the Sky Piercer, so just one favorable team fight for Team Falcons would allow them to really establish the advantage that's been swinging between these two teams for quite some time now. It hasn't been really reaching a point where you could call it a significant gap in terms of gold just yet. But let's see how Team Falcons are able to position and engage this time, because on Smart Omega, they're already two.
Okay, a conceal coming in from Super Yoshi. Dashes in already, AOG onto the back. They're trying to target Jome, but the damage coming in from Super Yoshi is there as well. They're going to bring down Endoryu. That's one member down for Omega. The jungler now gone. Kyle TZ secures the turtle, but a killing tree coming in from Lewis. There's the real world manipulation. They're not going to continue anymore. That's going to be a 1-for-1, but the Team Falcons won that trade.
It was a very nice try here from Falcons. I mean, Ogwin has the right idea. Essentially, you want to jump into the gold laner, right?
Yeah.
But I think he kind of just forgot that the gold laner is so protected.
Yep.
Jome is just so good in positioning that even Kyle TZ can't even find a way in.
Yeah.
So I think they left Ogwin all alone there for a while, and you saw what happened here.
Yeah, well, fortunately for Falcons, though, they again were able to secure the turtle and the kill onto Endoryu. Even the slightest bit of hesitation from Smart Omega eventually cost them this much from Team Falcons being the more decisive team to engage in that particular sequence. Flap TZ just deciding to go in, force Ogwin to have the necessary information on where to land the AOG meant a lot for them, especially considering that the first member from Smart Omega to get poked down to a very low health bar was Endoryu.
Yes.
He was the first one in that position, which didn't work well for them, and now there's another AOG.
Oh! That was super crucial. Wow, Ogwin.
Oh, Ogwin.
So aggressive, man.
I can finally use the word Gigil. Ogwin goes in, a revitalized pop, but there's the combo from Super Yoshi, and Ukir will get the kill. Flickers are being casted here. Flap TZ might get caught in the mix. There's Jome from the back. Heavy crossbow to bring down the Filipino cannon. 2 members down for the Green Falcons.
This is a little too much here coming in from Falcons.
It felt like a slightly miscalculated play from Falcons here. few Flap as well as Super Marco were nowhere nearby to provide any follow-up for Ogwen, and whatever his intention was probably at the moment didn't seem like it was properly communicated just yet, since a majority of the members of Smart Omega were within the area, so they were just able to immediately respond to the engage, and that would be the perfect definition of a punish from Smart Omega towards that decision from Ogwen. But fortunately, they have the slight lead still in their hands.
Still there.
And FlapTZ was already able to get the Blade Armor too, so he can buy a bit more time, even when the presence of Jome in the fight.
This is low. Look at them. They still want to fight it.
Okay, FlapTZ alongside Kyle TZ just trying to work on Lewis. Super Yoshi dangerously low. Lewis going in with Infernal Pursuit onto Flap. He wants to force out the split already, as Flap is dangerously low as well.
No team fight. It's a very scattered team fight, right? So it's going to be prone to maybe errors here. Let's see who's going to be able to make a more tighter composition. FlapTZ and Kyle are quite low though.
Super Yoshi too, but he still wants to go for it.
Oh, they're going for it. Oh, no!
No way!
Even if a Flap was trying to zone out and Doryu, Jome, the interim captain, finally makes a way for Omega to answer back. A clap back from Kyle and a shutdown for Super Marco. Lewis, Super Yoshi gone, but the Barangay gets the Lord.
I love the resolve here of the Barangay. Straight into the Lord. Jome had no distractions at all.
Yeah, but I feel like at that point, Super Yoshi was supposed to reset, regain some of his health back. But the call for Smart Omega was no, we'll go for the contest, and he just had to use his conceal to allow his other members to catch up to the objective, which was already being bursted down by Team Falcons. But that was also a great response from Team Falcons, not allowing Smart Omega to get away without any casualties. They were able to somehow trade it and still maintain the lead in their hands.
Yeah, they got 2, so that's actually a pretty solid trade, if you ask me. And because of that, Falcons are actually ahead by 1,000.
Yeah, and one of those kills went to Marco still.
Yeah.
The highest gold earning player so far in
And
this
Sky
game.
Piercer stacks.
Sky Piercer stacks already has a Malefic Roar. Lewis, they have a conceal play here. They're trying to go for it, but Ogwen spots them out as the Green Falcons work on this Lord at the top lane.
Alright. Fio still leading the damage leaderboards, despite us mentioning how he probably finds it quite difficult to position himself. It's not really just the real-world manipulation that matters at the end of the day, but there's a lot of disruption that's happening from...
Connecting on to 3. Here comes the real manipulation coming in from Phil. Super Marco just working on the members of Omega. They're going to get a kill onto Super Yoshi. Plus 2 Ook here. Ogwen still keeping Omega at bay. That's 2 members down. A no trade for the Barangay.
Wow. If earlier Ogwen made a bit of a boo-boo, this one is pure gold. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Just look at how they played around with all those angles. Even when you thought Omega already started gaining access, the mere fact that all their mid lane turrets remain standing, they were able to take advantage of this positioning from Smart Omega.
In wrestling terms, it's an AOG out of nowhere.
It's an AOG out of nowhere.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
And that's why Renmar, all throughout the season, has been putting a lot of emphasis in controlling the center of the map, despite Omega having enough resources to actually push the top lane. I mean, Ogwen and Kyle TZ was freely roaming into the middle lane to go for the back.
I mean, look at these turrets. I don't feel like they have the slightest bit of damage just yet from Smart Omega. So as much as Few must have found it difficult to position himself in the team fights, he's like someone who you can just rely on in terms of keeping the mid lane turret safe and well protected. And now looking at the items, clearly Kyle TZ with a 403 standings, much way ahead of Andoryu, already onto his last item to complete his build. So at this point, you really have to be careful if you're Jome. You're yet to die, but still, they're going for it.
Nice try here.
That was a good use of the Void Crystal.
Yeah.
To literally stop the conceal play, because they had to go around it, and that prevented Omega from trying to go for Ogwen.
That split second really allowed them to really think about their next move. And now Falcons are ahead in position on the Lord.
Oh, how do you go near?
You can't even go near. Look at that beautiful box.
This is the second consecutive time during the Lord take that FlapTZ was literally glued to Andoryu, not even letting him get any jungle creeps. That's a man who knows what he's gonna do during this take.
In the Philippines, that's what we call not letting them play.
Yes.
essentially.
He's so clingy.
So
Gigil.
clingy, yeah. So gigil, exactly. See what I mean here?
It's an English word. Okay, Teal coming in from
Here it is. Got
Okay,
Q
Fu.
Super Marco up on top side. We are looking for a 1 from Ogwin.
Just the void crystals are so annoying coming in from Pew. If you're Omega, you have to watch out for those kinds of things. Not to mention if Super Yoshi.
Oh.
Wait a
The mix.
second.
Okay. Might go for an escape. Here comes the fist break. Flickers out already, so that's a major resource expended from Super Yoshi.
At least he didn't get trapped in his own fist break.
That's right. He could do it, take it out manually,
And he
which
was still
very
able
few
to
people
escape.
actually do that, right?
That's a half week 3 from Super Yoshi. That's right.
Half week.
Oh,
Here we go, though.
AOG onto 2. Kyle Teasy working on Andoryu. Flap caught in the middle. Might go down though with the tower damage, but Super Marco once again blasts the Cebuano out of the map. Omega still holding on to their remaining inhibitor turrets that they have, but again, they failed to look for a trade.
Ogwin had a good day in the gym, bro. I'm just saying, man. This guy looks like he had fun, and he is feeling good, feeling confident as well.
Okay.
Yeah. And Kyle Teasy at this point, he's shifted towards making sure that he gets to, in Ingan's words, work on Andoryu rather than even looking for Jome. Much of Falcons are already capable of handling him at this point, and the mere fact that Andoryu isn't able to join as well affects really how the team fights eventually turn to be, and they don't seem like they really want to stop just yet. They really take down that top inhibitor turret away from Smart Omega before completely disengaging. And again, we really have to give it to both Flap and Ogwen. They've been very consistent in starting the fights, in making sure that Smart Omega doesn't feel as comfortable to fight back, just given the mere presence of Flap Teasy standing right in front of you.
I think that's just what happens when you go to the gym a lot. You got endorphins, you feel really good about your plays, and they're very confident. It allows them to really kind of take Omega by surprise here. And mind you, it's hard to get surprised by like heroes like a Gatot or a Glue. So I don't know what's happening here for Omega, but they're crumbling very, very slowly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good seal. Trying to go for Ogwin, but Ogwin knows.
Super Yoshi!
Dash out! Super Yoshi catches View!
Wow!
Beautiful answer. Ogwin goes in with an AOG, but there's no follow-up yet. Up against 4. They might be able to do this, though. But Jome managing to deliver final blows at the back. They catch Ogwin once again. A double kill for Big J. But a shutdown coming in from Kyle Teasy. Working on Super Yoshi. No escape. Flap Teasy was there as well. 2 members down for Omega, but 2 as well for Falcon.
That was messy.
Yeah, some of the members of Smart Omega had to retreat because they saw minion waves coming up top. So they couldn't fully commit to the fight, even though they had the slightest bit of advantage, taking out Few early on and also forcing out multiple resources, which in turn were capitalized by Falcons instead. So they decided to fully commit and take the trades on Super Yoshi as well as Jome, and now they also have the Lord all to themselves.
Why do I feel like that was already a good pick, and then you just should have ran? After that one, that was already a perfect pick off by Omega. I was surprised it worked so well taking out Few. So I don't know what that overstay was about, but man, oh man, did Falcons bounce back from that?
Yeah, well, one of the main reasons why they had to overstay was because the AOG connected for Ogwin as well, and there was an immediate response coming in from the Green Falcons. Again, if your captain is in trouble, you would expect all your comrades to go head first and just literally try to salvage what they can, and they were able to take down 2 from Omega. That's why they were able to get this Lord.
Yeah. Jome 2, I'd say, had a really good position in that previous team fight,
That's perfect, yeah.
but they were just able to withstand all the damage, and now they have the Lord. To Smart Omega, they will be on the defense again!
AOG not gonna connect though,
what?
but Kyle Teasy made sure to not let Super Yoshi do a setup with their crown play coming in from Few. Manages to evade Jome. 5 members are still up for Omega, and they were able to take down the Lord as the Green Falcons just clearing out the minions.
Inhib is down though, so this is an open base for Omega. This could be really bad if they go for it.
Okay, Flap Teasy has an immortality already. Lewis just trying to tank up the damage, but Super Marco delivering death. So wow! Super Yoshi catches Few, but Kyle Teasy with a clapback electrifying beats. Flap Ogwin quite low, But where did Super Yoshi come from?
This
nowhere.
break out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere.
We both said the same thing because literally he just surprised us all with the way he landed that.
Replay.
We need a
we
replay
need
of
a
that.
replay,
I want to
literally.
look at the mini map because I was so busy checking if there was like minions on the base.
Yeah, and I think Super Yoshi did 2 crucial plays in that entire minute which passed by. He was able to distract Kyle TZ from joining Falcons in that latest siege, which allowed Smart Omega to buy a little bit more time. Jome also had the heavy crossbow, so he was just able to focus on clearing out the minion waves. And apart from that, he was able to walk all the way back to his base and find the perfect angle to set up for Falcon. So they prolonged this a little bit longer, but there still exists an 8k gold lead that they have to take into account. But fortunately, Jome just picked up his last item, that's the Great Dragon Spear, so they will be a lot more equipped to engage in the upcoming team fight.
And good effort from Super Yoshi. I guess he heard all of our requests to bring back the old
Yeah, he brought it
weak for
back.
Yoshi. It's pretty much back, isn't it?
This time it wasn't an escape though. It was a setup from Super Yoshi.
Yeah, and I think this is a great development because that's what we need for Smart Omega.
Yeah, you guys were, we all were asking that individuals from Omega need to step up alongside Jome as their captain. And now it looks like Super Yoshi also stepping up to the plate this time, delivering a crazy way to keep Omega alive.
And that's despite being down by 7k, right? So let's see if they can do it again because now they really, really do need to do something about this. I don't think they want to leave it up for a contestation because their base is going to break. So I think they want to check.
Oh!
Again, there's a catch-all to Super Marco, bulletproof.
Marco's out.
AOG coming in from Ogwin. They take out Jome as well. Kyle TZ forced out the Winter Crown coming in from Ukir, but gets caught up by 3. Here comes Lewis up against 3. Infernal Pursuit. Ogwin has his immortality. Andoryu trying to run away, but Lewis is left to fend for himself. Immortality pop eventually will be dropped by Kyle TZ.
What better way to respond if you were Kyle, if not switching your priorities and immediately looking for Jome, just as Smart Omega was able to take out Super Marco.
You can see the effort that they're throwing to basically do a -1. They got the most crucial component, but Andoryu also had to walk back to base after all that happened. So they couldn't capitalize with a Lord take.
And not to mention Ogwen's AOG once again helped out Kyle TZ in a huge way to take down Jome, as you mentioned, and now they take down the Lord as well. 18 minutes have surpassed, so this is the Lord, evolved Lord. And it's pretty much hard to defend if you're Omega.
It's gonna be tough.
It's gonna take more than just 5 members of the barangay. You literally need the whole barangay to defend the onslaught of Team Falcons.
Yeah, especially if Team Falcons decide to accompany this 18-minute evolved Lord that's marching in the middle lane, and they will definitely be a lot more careful about the possible angles. They need to spot out where Super Yoshi is before any full commit.
Okay, here comes the conceal from the 2 roamers, but Kyle TZ spots out Super Yoshi. Lewis, no immortality, might go down. AOG onto the back, Marco, but Jome catches Marco as well. This might be defendable though, but they're trying to go for the base. A double kill coming in from Kyle TZ, and this is a Team Falcons win.
A very hard-fought battle here from Omega, but in the end, Falcons just had the superior team fight and the superior pickoffs, making it a 1-0.
I really have to commend Kyle TZ.